Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Advanced, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a hell of a show for you guys, but before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want today's full show, before it comes out on YouTube, it's streaming for free on the Dreamers Pro podcast. We have pinned below. Anyway, let me get into this story. So yesterday, we got a bombshell story that dropped, right? Came out of nowhere. I was actually just going through my phone, and all of a sudden, I got the news that Milwaukee Bucks head coach Adrian Griffin got fired. And I was like, wait, what? Then I quickly ran over to look at the NBA standings, and I saw that they have the number 2 record in the Eastern Conference with a 30 and a 30 and 13 record. And I believe that they are tied for the second best record in the NBA. And I'm like, you fire a head coach with that type of record? Am I missing something here? And then some people started saying, no, you have to delve deeper into the numbers. You know, there were certain signs, things that were trending in the direction that wasn't positive, the defensive numbers and things like that. So there was cause for concern, and the record wasn't really reflecting it. And I'm like, man, if Adrian Griffin's job is not guaranteed, then whose job is in the NBA? My God. So that news came out. And then like a few minutes later, I saw a post, I believe, was it from Bleacher Report? I shared it on my Instagram story. If you're not following me on Instagram, my handle is CTABANZ. And they said Doc Rivers is being highly considered for the coaching job. And I just burst out laughing. I'm like, you got to be kidding. Doc Rivers must have the best agent in all of sport. It's unreal how fast I've seen Doc Rivers get fired and hired within a span of a week. This man, Adrian Griffin gets fired, and within the same night, they hire Doc Rivers. I was absolutely beside myself. I could not believe how fast Doc Rivers was able to get a coaching gig. So we then found out that Doc Rivers was getting a coaching gig. So this morning, I was going through the internet, and I came across an article from Fadeaway, and it had the following headline. It says, Giannis Antetokounmpo lost faith in Adrian Griffin before shocking firing. I was like, this is pretty interesting. But before we even get into this article, this video is brought to you by our sponsor, Aura. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura, by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So let me just get into the article here. It continues on by saying Giannis Antetokounmpo's lack of belief in the new head coach is what prompted the Bucks to fire him with the team at 30 and 13. The Milwaukee Bucks fired Adrian Griffin Jr. less than 6 months into his stint as a head coach after he joined in the offseason to replace Mike Budenholzer. The Bucks are 30 and 13, holding the second best record in the East. Their strong form has led to questions about why Griffin was let go, with Chris Mannix revealing that several veterans, including Giannis Antetokounmpo, had lost faith in the rookie head coach. There have been steady rumblings for a week in NBA circles that several Buck veterans, including Giannis, had lost faith in Griffin, which appeared to be a smart hire last spring, just never worked out. And then here's the tweet. You can see it there from Chris Mannix. In addition, the team's marquee offseason acquisition, Damian Lillard, ultimately ended up struggling to adjust to the Bucks' offensive schemes, something that the front office thought was a big problem due to the haul they traded to Portland to acquire Lillard. Along the way, league sources say Lillard has spent much of this season struggling with the way the Bucks function on the offensive end. While he had remained patient with coaches and teammates, there was an inevitable pressure on Griffin from the organization to make the most of Lillard's talent in the kind of way that validates the choice to part ways with Drew Holiday, Grayson Allen, and 3 first-round picks to land him. And then the article goes on to say something about Giannis Antetokounmpo head picking coaches right here. What are my thoughts about this? It's an interesting one because, again, the coach did have a very good record, right? He had a very good record, 30-13. A lot of teams in the NBA that would love to have that record. So they had a good record. So it goes to show you that if this team, if the players were losing faith in the coach and all of that, and they were still able to extrapolate this type of success, it makes you wonder that maybe the Milwaukee Bucks think that this team should be the best team in the NBA by a wide margin if they're willing to let go of this coach just 6 months into his job. That's the first thing. Maybe the expectations are extremely high. That's one thing. Another thing I think about this is we don't give enough credit to Ime Udoka. Ime Udoka is I think he's the coach that really started this trend of hiring first-year coaches for big positions. It was Ime Udoka. After Brad Stevens stepped down with the Boston Celtics. And then from there, we saw Darvin Ham get the job with the Los Angeles Lakers. And then now we saw Adrian Griffin get this job as well. Ime Udoka has proven, as a matter of fact, that he is a very good basketball coach. If you look at the Houston Rockets this year, they're much more competitive under his leadership. They play with grit. They're going to defend. They play harder, right? Last year, you could not say that about this basketball team. So I think that in all of this, we don't give Ime Udoka enough credit for being a fantastic, head coach. Now, some people may be saying, well, Giannis Antetokounmpo is a coach killer. I don't know that because I remember Giannis being loyal to Mike Budenholzer to a fault. I mean, you think this guy was bad. That guy was horrendous, even though they won a championship. He was Mr. Anti-Adjustments. It was terrible. He was terrible. And Giannis still followed his coach and followed and marched to the beat of his drum, and he supported his coach. So it's an unfortunate situation, and now they replace him with Doc Rivers, who I have absolutely zero confidence in, especially after the debacle that took place with the Los Angeles Clippers. But I guess we have to wait and see. But it was definitely a shock to the system to hear this news come out. And I guess we have to see how all of this plays out now with Doc Rivers as the head coach. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think about this story? Do you think it was a premature firing? And what do you think about the hiring of replacement head coach Doc Rivers? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.